Hey YouTube, Player's Codex with a unit overview video. Age of Empires Definitive Edition has been around for a little while now, and while there aren't a ton of players, I can't help but come home after a long day at work and slap around the old sausage. So let's jump right into it. Love it or hate it, the Chariot Archer is the most commonly used Bronze Age unit. Available to 8 of the 16 civilizations, the Chariot Archer Rush is a common and extremely difficult strategy to counter. Even in the late game, the Chariot Archer still has a role to play, especially when the gold on the map has run out. Its low cost and high mobility make it one of the most lethal units in the game, so let's break it down. The Chariot Archer is a Bronze Age unit created in the Archer range after Wheel is researched. At a standard cost of 40 food and 70 wood, massing them on the battlefield takes very little time and effort, and the effect can be devastating. Its speed, combined with a base range of 7, make it difficult to deal with, and its moderate base attack of 4 is enough to pick down villagers and any unit too slow to keep up. The Chariot Archer is available to the Assyrian, Babylonian, Egyptian, Hittite, Palmyran, Phoenician, Shang, and Sumerian civilizations. Some civs field this unit better and clearly have the edge. Let's take a look at each civilization's bonuses that affect the Chariot Archer. Let's start with the Assyrians. They get a buff to all their archers' rates of fire. At an additional 25%, this can give them a lethal edge in early Bronze Age fights, before any upgrades can be applied. The Egyptians get a 33% hit point boost to all their chariot units, and that includes the Chariot Archer. With their tanky stats, Egyptian chariots can soak up more damage on the battlefield, meaning they can take more fights, and survive bad fights long enough to get away. Hittites have an additional 1 attack on all of their archers. This is like having an extra upgrade as soon as they hit the battlefield. This doesn't sound like a lot, but this adds up. It can help negate armor upgrades and work as a force multiplier. All these bonuses mean that in 1-on-1 fight, a Chariot Archer from any of these civs will kill another Chariot Archer from any of the others before the upgrades. Let's take a moment to look at what each one of these upgrades are, what they do, and how the Chariot Archer is affected by it. Now, the Chariot Archer is affected by the Archer armor line. Each subsequent armor upgrade adds 2 armor, but how does the game recognize that? Let's take a look. In Age of Empires Definitive Edition, there are 2 kinds of armor, Pierce and Melee. Pierce armor is how well a unit defends against missile weapons, and melee armor determines how well a unit defends against hand weapons. Let's take a look at this in action. When fighting other archers, no matter how many armor upgrades you add, a Chariot Archer still takes all 4 damage from the other unit. So let's put it up against one of the more common counter units it'll face, the Cavalry. As you can see, with no armor at all, the Chariot Archer takes all 8 damage and is easily dispatched. Now let's take a look at how the first armor upgrade affects it. Now instead of taking all 8 damage, our Chariot Archer takes 6. At 6 melee armor, 6 of the 8 damage being dealt by the cavalry is being shrugged off. In the Bronze Age, only 2 armor upgrades are available, Leather Archer armor and Scale Archer armor. Each add 2 melee armor for a total of 4. Leather Archer armor costs 100 food, so grabbing that is a no-brainer. And Scale Archer armor costs 125 food and 50 gold. While costly, keep in mind that a 4 armor upgrade, you're soaking up half the damage from an upgraded cavalry. Of course, the Chain Archer armor in the Iron Age helps again if you're still using Chariot Archers. Now you may be thinking, what about camels? I'll come back to that. Let's take a look at the range upgrades. These can be found in the market. The first is the Woodworking Tech at a cost of 125 food and 75 wood. This adds 1 range to missile units. Researching woodworking also increases the gather rate of your woodcutters. Once you get to the Bronze Age, you can research artisanship at 170 food and 150 wood for an additional 1 range. With a total of 2 extra range, this can mean the difference between being able to hit and run around towers and over wood lines, or running around aimlessly. This also allows you to take fights sooner and makes your hit and run attacks much more effective. In the Iron Age, craftsmanship becomes available at a cost of 240 food and 200 wood. It also increases the range of missile weapons by 1. This brings the range of the Chariot Archer to 10, making it able to outrange most towers. You may have noticed that the woodcutting upgrades do not affect the attack. There's only 1 attack that affects the attack of archer units, and that is Alchemy. This is an Iron Age tech and adds 1 attack. An additional bonus is it adds a fire effect to the arrows, which is pretty dope. The Nobility upgrade adds a 15% buff to the hit points of all cavalry units, allowing them to soak up even more damage. The most important upgrade, however, has to be Ballistics. Before Ballistics, hitting a moving target is almost impossible unless you are directly in the unit's path. Ballistics allows your ranged units to anticipate where units are going, greatly increasing the chance of landing a hit. All of these techs, coupled with the Chariot Archer's speed and attack, make it a go-to option for any civ that has it. So how do you take them down? One-on-one, cavalry will win every time. Camels are also an excellent option. Even though they have 6 attack, they deal bonus damage to horse units, meaning they can kill an upgraded Chariot Archer in 7 hits as opposed to Cavalry's 9. Both these units cost gold, however, and can delay an opponent's ability to get to the Iron Age. Slingers are also a great option. At a cost of 40 food and 10 stone, they are much cheaper than Chariot Archers and are available from the Tool Age. They also don't cost gold, which can be at a premium in late game. Other options would be the Academy line due to their high pierce armor, however they can be microed down. Late game, the high pierce armor negates the Chariot Archer's speed advantage. Elephant Archers also bring them down easily, and they are quickly dispatched by Horse Archers. Siege also makes short work of them. It's worth mentioning that in late game, any upgraded unit will be difficult for the Chariot Archer to deal with, so their effectiveness definitely drops off in the Iron Age. However, once all the gold in the map is depleted, they come into their own again. In conclusion, the Chariot Archer is a lethal force on the battlefield, regardless of your playstyle. It can find a role in any Bronze Age army and turn the tide in late Iron Age. While it isn't invincible, it can definitely be a game winner. Thank you guys so much for watching this unit overview. See you next time.